beautiful here.
Now, when we come to the next bend, I want you to look right and I want you to look down on the road. Take it very slowly, Martin, okay? I know you haven't any choice anyway.
Look to the right, you said?
You can look right and look left and look down on the ground as well. So this is known as the Devil's Elbow. It's been raining, so it should be good today. And look up to the right and then look left under the holes in the bridge. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Wow.
Now you can see why we're only allowed to drive in this direction.
But it's a two-way road.
Yes. What?
Yes, it is. It's a two-way road?
Not really, no.
Yes, it's a two-way road.
One-way road? Good, that's good.
What if somebody's coming? It's a two-way
We
road,
have to pay
guys.
to stop there.
You find a little place to
You do, yeah.
back
Yeah.
into.
Stop. Okay.
So beautiful.
If you look on this side now, there are more beehives up here. See where the people are going.
Yes.
Nobody is certain what they were used for. Some people say for pilgrims, possibly on their way out to Skellig,
How old did you
or
say?
going elsewhere.
How old are
Hundreds would be, early Christian.
they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're corbelled, and you'll see. I'll be taking you to a building that's corbelled, and I'll explain that to you further on.
Yeah.
You hold a baby lamb for a fee,
Yeah.
and you need
Well,
to.
listen, that koala picture that I took was costly too.
Did you hold a koala?
Yes.
Look at those lovely blue sheep. They're depressed.
That's
Up
all that's
above here, yeah.
Yes.
You can see the islands very clearly actually today.
Yes.
Yeah. These are the ones, Skellig, sometimes you can't.
and Skellig.
Yeah.
Yes.
Skellig More and Skellig Biog. Biog is small, or Skellig Vihil. There's two names on account of the dedication to Michael the Archangel.
Oh, there's too much glare on the glass.
We will be stopping. Okay, there is a place we can stop up here for a photo. So I couldn't tell you the depth of the ocean there, but extremely deep. I would have known when I was studying originally, but I've forgotten.
Sheep on this.
We'll stop at the, where the statue is, the Calvary, if we can, yeah. Is there space here to stop? We pull in here, yeah, we'll stop here, and sometimes the other one is full. And then people will be annoyed with me, as we have a space. Okay, doke? So you're looking out.
Wouldn't like to run out of gas there.
By the way, I saw someone climbing on a rock down there, and I'm wondering how he got there. It was by boat, or did he?
Oh, they could have climbed down here. Yeah, there's a path there.
Yeah.
There's a. Yeah.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
Except gun running in that movie, something down that roadway down to the little beach, Cumino. Very jagged coastline.
Yes. Very good.
Patrick McCullough made a movie here, the guy who had to wear high heels. What's his name? Far and Away was the movie, yeah. Yeah, Tom Cruise, God bless him, but he couldn't do an Irish accent. He did his best. There's only one actor who can really do, well, not only one, but one of the finest is Meryl Streep. She's
wonderful.
the most incredible here, and she can act as well. She's fantastic. Look at this for scenery in front of you. see all the caves? Look at all the caves. Okay, you have a very broken coastline and you'd have huge waves pounding here in the winter. So you start off and you'll have caves, then you'll end up, the waves will keep pounding, you'll end up with arches, and then the waves will pound in the middle of the arch, and you'll end up with all these stacks, these little single rocks, pointed rocks that are standing up down there. But a little bit further on, I told you I'd tell you another lynch story. In one of these caves, a local man, a ferreter was their name. They have a castle. We'll be passing close to it later, and a small castle. But he ran away with Sybil Lynch. That was her name, and she was from Galway. Do you remember the Lynches? And they eloped, and they came down here back to his territory, and her father gave chase, and he hid her in a cave around here, because this is actually Sybil Head, is the name of it, called after her. But he hid her in a cave, and if he did, the tide came in and the poor girl drowned. So Sybil Head was called after her. Now, if you look in front of you, when we come down in the next step, you'll see a very large house by Irish standards.
Yes.
We'll see it again in a moment. It's over here in the middle. When we get past this little clump of trees. Not this one up here, over. It's a standalone house. Do you see that big house
Yes.
up at the high?
Oh, wow.
That has a recording studio, because that was Dolores O'Riordan's house. She was in the Cranberries. They made it big back in the 90s. She was from Limerick, but the poor girl died, I think, possibly of an overdose. Was it, Martin?
Never made public.
It wasn't made public, but she did have a lot of issues, psychological issues, but she had an amazing voice. And it was very sad. She died in London a couple of years ago. So that was her house, but she had actually sold that. So they were looking for huge money for that. But you would have, most of the people would be from or have family from here. They kind of protect the Irish-speaking end of it very much, as you can imagine. So you can see the Farmer. He has a fine little belly on him, hasn't he? The dead man, the island on your left, in his tushkart. See him there? With his belly and his other appendage. Keep it clean. It's not Sunday, I'm okay. Okay, have a look, lovely flower bed. The blue flowers are South African, they're agapanthus. And they do very well here in Ireland, but they take a couple of years to establish, and I hope I have some of them out when I go home. You'll notice that a lot of the signs are in Irish, because it is a Gaeltacht, an Irish-speaking area. Look at the man selling his vegetables on Gardain Biog, a little stall there, the small garden. Just back on your left here, the little stall. Beautiful hydrangea. So the tricolour reminds me to tell you that in 2016 we had the 100th anniversary of the 1916 Rising, and the government decided to present every public building with the tricolour. They also presented every school with one, and every school with a copy of the Proclamation of the Republic, which is the equivalent of your Declaration of Independence, and every school had a ceremony when the proclamation was read and the flag was raised. Before that we used to fly the tricolour, nothing like you do in America. So it was a very good idea to give kind of the younger generation a sense of history and a sense of their backstory and so on. All good, Martin. The Blasket Centre is down to your left, is a visitor's centre. You have to pay to go in, which tells you all the story of the Blasket Islands, and you're looking out at them and the history of the Dingle and all the books that are written about it. Made quite a lot of them in Irish, except for one, an Englishman, an academic called Robin Flower, who wrote a book which was widely read. They're red hot pokers. You see the one standing up, Nipafia? The flowers there that look like, that's what they're called. Pyramidal, yeah. Nipafia, I think, isn't there something, but I don't know the name of it because I'm not a Star Wars person and I can't remember. They came ashore and created a site here because the Skelligs are UNESCO World Heritage Site, and there was a lot of controversy about, you know, disturbing the wildlife and so on, the birds, during the filming of the other one. So and it was also very difficult to go ashore, to board, to get onto the island. A lot of steps, hundreds of steps. I think they had to fly the producer in by helicopter. So, were you saying something?
Yeah, The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, and Martin knows the name. But
Yeah, at the
there you
very
go.
end.
The Last Jedi was at the very end as well. Yeah, but they created that ashore over here. That you know, whatever scene they have it's in this area. So if you saw
There's
it,
no telephone poles.
when you go back, you recognise it. Norman, they lived. Ballyferrisher is the next village called after them, Ballyonairiclery. This is where Bridget Cleary got sent home for apologising in English to the poor girl. She might have had a lucky escape from Peppy the Red. Father Rua O'Clery. He's a redhead, a real redhead, blue eyes, high cheekbones.
He sounds handsome.
My Viking, very handsome. No suspicion of motherly prejudice. The red is from the Vikings, by the way, the red hair.